Let me just click on the resume button. All right, welcome everyone. And today is the 4th of August, 4th of August, and today's webinar basically on the Errante's website. We're looking into drivers fundamentally of what has actually either moved the market or would probably move the market. So this whole week we've got quite a number of fundamentals, and you guys can see my trade at the moment, not trade, sorry, the analysis at the moment. I'm just doing it live at the moment on Euro GBP. We are detecting a lot of movements on Euro GBP by traders and investors and all that. They've got very high volume of trade on the buy side. So Euro GBP might pose some opportunity for us to buy, but I'm just looking for the location at the moment of where exactly we can actually look into buying. So we'll look into together on the Euro GBP. Next, after the Euro GBP, we'll look at selling opportunities for the GBP CHF as well. So let's start. Okay, so let me just clear out all these funny lines that we have it on the screen. And I have got of course it looks like I use a lot of indicators, but I actually use it very differently. And I just want to make sure that I have the ADX on. Before that, of course, the 3 lines, very important, always on my chart. I've got the exponential moving averages, 50, 100, 200. ADX is to tell me the strength of the current trend that I'm looking at, okay, whether or not it's strong enough, whether it's bullish or bearish by this simple blue line here, whether it's above 25, level 25 or not. Stocks is the stochastics here is not for me to look into overbought, oversold. I've never used any oscillators. We call it oscillators, whether it's the stochastics or the RSI for any overbought, oversold kind of thing. I like to use stochastics, especially for reversal. Just a bit of a rough idea whether there is a reversal or not, but I use it as a divergence indicator, meaning I'm looking for opposite movements. If I see a high here and then a lower high, I will draw the line here, for example, okay, and I want to look at this high here, and then the current price is a higher high. So you can see there's an opposite, all right? So when there's an opposite whereby the slope is going down on the price, on the charts, on the candlestick chart, and then on the stochastics itself, you see that the slope is on the upside. Now, this means that there is an opposite or a mismatch going on between the price and the stochastics or the oscillator that you use, whether it's RSI or stocks. But I prefer the stochastics. I don't change any of the, it's all on default setting, together with the ADX, the same, no changes in the default. I've not changed anything. So here, for example, because there is a, how you call that, a divergence, whatever that I have looked earlier on, because that was an upward type movement, that upward movement now is reversing because there is a divergence. So the divergence, meaning when there are opposites, that means it's signaling reversal. Okay, so there you go. I was looking at an early warning for Euro GBP upward type movement. So that's an upward type movement, but then you see it is actually heading downward. So I've got no plans of entering the market as of now, but then we are expecting the market to move up. So now what Euro GBP is doing, especially on the 4-hour chart, is giving the idea that we can actually sell. Of course, you've got ABCD coming down, but then with the software that I'm actually using, it is detecting some movements to the upside. So I'm just waiting at the moment on the right move, because as you guys can see on the Euro GBP here, really very interesting. For the retail traders, the market has actually paved out ways to tell the retail traders that you guys can actually sell. There are selling opportunities, but the big boys are actually buying and planning for their buy pending order, and then planning for longer term buys already at this moment of time. And that can actually be seen on the daily chart. You see the daily chart here, you've got a pickup of momentum now moving with a bullish candle. Now that bullish candle itself, that it looks short to the eye. Didn't Doesn't really look, that powerful or anything like that at this moment of time. But it's building up the momentum. It's actually started the support just very close to the area where the 50 EMA is as well. And then as it goes above the 50 EMA, I think it would give us a hint, because through the software, for example, I see that there's just a lot of buying going on for the Euro GBP, but it's not reflected as yet in the shorter time frame by retail traders, because retail traders are not the one responsible for making the move, initiating the move, or anything like that, because they are always behind, right? So retail traders are always behind the movement. So this is where I would like to share an early warning for a potential trading opportunity for buying the Euro GBP. Sometimes we are a little bit too early, so that we've got to wait a little bit more. But then now, for example, with the Euro GBP on the daily chart, it's already showing a potential upward type movement. So when I look at the price here, it is at 90.29 or 90.30 area, for example, above the 90.20 psychological number. And the good thing is that what we can then do is to evaluate further, to look into the daily chart, to get the to also measure and evaluate whether or not the software is good enough with their information. I never trust 100% on a particular thing. Even the software is great, been used by very big hedge funds and all kind of traders and all that. I like to confirm whatever I use with my own method as well. So you've got technical, you've got fundamental, you've got a couple of things. Ingredients are very, very important. Okay, so here, for example, I still want to look at the traditional way of how I manually look into whether or not we have on this price to the left, whether or not we have got a single bullish mother candle. Okay, so now if we go on to here, you can see that there has been, okay, there's this one here, and that bullish mother candle happened on the 29th of July 2019, last year in July, and almost a year bang on a year ago. So then here, from the current price to the end of that candle right there, it's about almost 100 pips. Is about 95 pips there. Okay, now this is a very good candle for the current price to also go to right along. Why? Because you've got no wick at the very top and it's flat, and this is very close to a Morobozu candle, which is one of the most powerful candle type in the Japanese candlestick strategy, okay, pattern. So this one here, when there are no wicks at the top, no wicks below, and you've got a current price now that is on the candle, that means that there is a high probability that the current market or pricing might mirror the move right to the end of that single bullish mother candle. So I see it, there is a potential, but of course, you've got a little bit of a, how do you call that, resistance right there, right to the left. So that price there is 90.50. So I would think that 90.60 would be an ideal place to actually buy or set a small buying pending order. So 90.60 would be ideal. And then the end of that candle right there, let's see, the price is at 91.20. So 91.10 probably would be ideal right there. Or if you want to take it like really safe, just take about 30 pips or so. So 90.60 you can enter, and then 90.90 you can actually look for the exit. Okay, so here, for example, you got 90.90. Okay, I would just test the market a little bit on the buying, because it's just too early, you see. So you've got 90.90 and 90.60. So you can set a buy pending order, buy limit maybe at this stage, mainly because it's reversing a little bit. But if it is continuing to the upside, then a buy stop at 90.60, and then you want to take profit. Just about 30 pips or so at 90.90. Okay, so let's measure it first. We want to be a little bit safer. We don't want to, we want to safely enter the market to sort of test the market, whether or not the bullishness is really picking up as the indicator, sorry, as the software is currently signaling me. Okay, at the moment. So software on both sessions, both the Asian session and the European session at the moment, they are signaling me on Euro GBP. So Euro GBP, basically, it is giving me a very good sort of confidence at the moment that it is picking up, not that it is bullish, fully as yet. Because yes, it's good. You've got a bit of a higher high at the moment here. This is on the daily chart first, and you've got a bit of a support right there. This is good because you've got a bit of a we call it sort of like a doji right there that actually gives us a bit of an idea of a reversal at that stage. So that's quite a good support, not too bad. But what I would prefer it to do is to go above the 1990 later on, and perhaps 91.00, just to give me a better indication of the continuation of an upward type movement. So you guys can see on the daily chart at the moment for Euro GBP, you have got a nice wave going on, and the wave is moving to the upside. It's just that the wave and the higher high was good until this area here, because then this is where I would question it a little bit here. Okay, you know why? Because this is a dangerous area. If the price does not go up above this area here, then this whole thing can turn into a bearish what do you call that, double top. And if a bearish double top, that means it will go down quite a lot. So hence the reason we want to buy for now to test the market, whether or not the software is detecting some movement by the big boys. The big boys, they're interested in buying, but we don't know what for, why, or how long. So what we do now is we just buy for now at this area here, so that you guys can actually, if you were to risk, you can only risk about 30 pips or so. Okay, so that is a reasonable 30 pips to risk while we test the market of how strong it is on the buy side for the Euro GBP. So then what we do next is that, okay, we've got an area now here where we could potentially buy to test the market kind of thing, not a confident buy and then expect it to go hundreds of pips up yet, not yet. It's just too soon. Okay, and we want to see that. I want to see what happens there, because you know why? At this stage, usually what happens is that the big boys, when they're actually pumping in money to feel like they want to buy, let's say the Euro GBP, they're also monitoring the retail market at this moment. They want to they would like to also see the respond on buying the Euro GBP by the retail market. So they would make much more money if the respond and the retail market's coming in with a lot of buys, and whether or not they managed to trick the retail buyers into coming in and buying more. If the retail buyers coming in and buying more, they would most probably make this, they would pump in more as well, just to make believe and make them, come in. But usually they will come in late, but then it at least we are looking at a marathon of a trend. So now it's just too soon for me. I mean, with what I see technically as well, just too soon to decide. So I like to use the software, for example, heat maps and everything else, just to choose the right pair, just to actually know what the big boys are up to and where are they thinking of flowing, creating the flow on which pair, on which instrument. Okay, that's all I use it for, not to enter, not to exit. As you guys can see, I enter and exit and my own terms and my own rules technically, and with my patterns and everything else. So I don't actually take blind decisions into entry and exit, except for my own ways, okay, to do it. So that's basically what I would like to share with you guys. So here, for example, we can see there's a little bit of a window of an opportunity to trade on a buy there. You can put your pending order ready. You can also do your SL at 30 pips too, or slightly bigger. It's entirely up to yourself, okay? But I would really monitor the area that I've just mentioned earlier on. Give me a second. Right. So I'll mark it in red, this area as well. And the high wick right there. But then here, for example, just these two lines based on all these resistant area right here is between the 9120 psychological number and the 9150 psychological level. So that's quite good, reasonable to see whether or not price would actually pierce through and all that. So meantime, okay, we've got a little bit of a potential trade right there. And then what we then do is to move on to the 4-hour chart. So when you move to the 4-hour chart, it is still quite clear the preferences to the downside. We've also got a bit of a reversal going on. So this tells us that it may actually take a little bit of time for it to until it moves up, because at the moment it's only showing us a potential buying interest on the daily chart only. So on the 1-hour chart, we have got still that reversal going on. So let's see how much the retail market could actually be tricked with what's going on, because the retail market is riding a little bit on the downside because they have not smell the buying of the bigger investors at this moment of time. So I just want to demonstrate. I mean, we can monitor it together, and there are times that we see an early warning for a particular pair, and then I see that it is just too early. I would plan it, but then I would cancel the pending order as well, like what I've mentioned to Alfred as well, whereby we've seen a bit of a early warning for the AUD USD, AUD JPY, let's say, but then the price is too far off from where the entry could potentially be. So we just ignore that for now, because they are trading on the longer term. Sometimes there are times that their plan is really close to the current price. Okay, but like for now, as you can see, you have got more selling pressure on Euro GBP at this moment of time. We've got a lot of lower low, lower high, lower lows and lower highs. So we've got lower highs, lower lows, giving still the potential to the downside. The other thing as well is if you look at the stairs going down like this, it is always good to draw a sort of a channel. Okay, and you can use that by that little E there next to the Fibonacci tool. You've got the channel. It's called an equidistant channel. So you take that one there and you just draw, just so that you can get a bit of an idea of how the prices are traveling through that channel. And let me just, okay, so we've got as many lows and touch points at the very bottom here, and at the high end there as many resistance that you can see as well. So here, this is not too bad. Let's say there, and also a little bit of there. Okay, so okay, this is not too bad. Nice channel right there. Now, as you can see, you see how it has actually pierced throughout of the channel, and usually it goes up. It most probably it broke out, and we're just waiting for it to come back. And where does it find support at? Anywhere in along this top channel there. And if it does, then come down and then bounce up, then you know that it is actually trying to feed into what the big boys are actually planning. Okay, so now a little bit too early to really decide, but let's look at it, the market at this way, where we use early warning signs to evaluate it further and not to blindly just follow what they say, okay, or what they are actually doing, or what we think they're actually doing. Hence the reason for Cheng Ho, when you mentioned a little earlier on about those very nice reports by the bank. I use them sometimes. Sometimes I see that if it matches with the software, matches with my analysis as well, then I would actually post. But most of the time, all these bank reports in very beautiful PDFs, they are for marketing purposes. And I don't do marketing purposes. I don't actually know how to market these things that well, but because I'm a trader myself, so I need to use the information that are not marketing driven information, but really real time data in order for me to make the right decision to enter, exit, or to hold my trades. Okay, so this is basically it. So here we have I would think a good opportunity for euro pairs, but again, we need to balance up with what we have traded for euro. I mean, some of us are having some floating on euro USD, for example, or other euro crosses, but we just want to also look at the trend for now. We could probably ride along some buying opportunities, but a little bit earlier today, but you early if we were to think of it today, but maybe tomorrow we might see a little change. So as you can see, it's coming downwards here. This is on the 4-hour chart, and what I would like is for it to actually come down and meet this upper channel dotted line. Now, if it does do that and then it bounces upwards, then we have got a sign or a signal, a forex early signal to actually go upwards. Okay, but it's just that I'm a little bit skeptical also because of that candlestick right there. But we leave the market to do what it does first. We just detect something. We're not into it, very early or into it now. So we're okay. We're kept safe. That's for Euro GBP. So the next one that I would like to look at is the GBP CHF. Okay, so the GBP EuroCAD is looking good. I have posted that on the Trading Dot. On Trading Dot, that was weighted. I think Alfred knows this as well with the EuroCAD. We did wait, but the trend at the time and all that was quite good. I was looking at pattern as well. That is a cup and handle pattern. So I would think that now is most probably the time for it to reverse, to come down, to make the cup, to make the handle of the cup. Okay, so let me just lay out some areas here. We'll just look at EuroCAD before we go on to the GBP CHF. Okay, so EuroCAD, what most probably would start to happen is because you see the price that went up, it created that move to the upside. Of course, a really beautiful ABCDs going upwards, and then it has met the area of the mouth of the cup. So because it has made the area of the mouth of the cup, there is a potential for reversal now to come down to at least the 50 exponential area. Let me just put a total different color. 50 there. Let me just put that one there first. Okay, so we have got we can actually follow. Let me just get rid of some lines that we don't necessarily need. Okay, there you go. Make it a bit clearer. So let me just do that again. We'll take that from top to the bottom, and then you mark the 50% right there. Okay, so that 50% is where market could drop down to for the EuroCAD. So this should actually be good news for those who are holding EuroCAD on the sell or holding Euro USD for a sell, because it may be an indicator of more falling for the euro, which is a little bit good for the ones us traders who've been on a sell for the euro, so it at least reduces some of our losses. But here, for example, what I expect the market to do following the cup handle pattern, this is quite a beautiful cup and handle pattern. It has actually reversed quite nicely, which is expected for it to reverse, and that reversal should take it down to this 1.5522 area, okay, or 23, 1.5523 area. So from where prices are, or where prices is at now to that area, that's about 200 pips fall. So I'm expecting a bit of a 200 pips fall first to solidify that cup and handle pattern. So let me just draw it out. So basically, okay, So that is your very nice candle. Sorry, cup. Candlesticks pattern on a cup. So the cup there, now that move downwards should actually be moving like this. Okay, zigzag of course, and it comes down this area. It should then do something there and then bounce upwards. Now, as it bounces upwards, you have got a bit of a buying opportunity there. Now, basically, you've got a bit of a selling opportunity there. And then as it breaks out from the cup, then you will see it go up, come down a little bit, and then start to move on upwards a lot more. So that means that EuroCAD has got a long-term buy. So at this stage, the banks and big boys, they just leave their trades on the buy because they're looking for the 6 months, 1 year, 2 years type time frame. Okay, so once it goes above that cup, that mouth of the cup area, and it goes upwards, the distance that it can actually go upwards to is actually close to the distance between the mouth of the cup and the base of the cup. Okay, so here, for example, let me just, if we take that, let's say just this area where the highest candle is there, right to the base there, just the minimum itself is about 700 plus pips. You see, so it once it goes above to that mouth of the cup area and upwards, then we're expecting most probably a movement of 700 plus pips. But then again, it's daily chart, so it'll zigzag back down, up and down, up and down. But then, it will do this kind of movement basically. Okay. So there you go. This is basically what I think EuroCAD is up to at this moment of time. And but we want to follow, what's going on from time to time with fundamentals, news, and all that. It's just carving out the pattern, and it's giving us that up and down move that basically made of volatility. Okay. So there you go. Let me just get rid of all the drawings. Perfect. Okay. Any questions, guys, on EuroCAD? You guys okay so far? Got more people? Welcome, guys. Welcome, everyone. Okay, good. So we're talking about EuroCAD at the moment. For those who've just arrived, we've gone through a Euro GBP trading opportunity. I'm just waiting for a buy type trading opportunity, but waiting for this reversal and looking at where it would find support. My guess is it's probably got a support in that area there at 9,000 area. So if it were to fall, it probably would fall the next, let's say 12, 20 pips or so before it find that nice support up. If it does actually come down, this is for Euro GBP, and then it finds support at 9,000 area, then it might then mirror this very nice movement to the upside. So you can take a short-term buy later on of at least 30 pips or so from here because of that candle, and then you take it in stages and start buying and buying until it goes to that area, and then further. So let's monitor and see what happens, because how the experts out there or bigger trader, they always think about buying it low, for example, or buying the dip, as they say. Buying the dip meaning that the dipping of this price coming down, and then they would actually buy the dip at a lower price. Okay, so perhaps they are waiting for the buy, waiting for the dip before buying. Okay, so that's for Euro GBP. EuroCAD, you guys are clear. I've given you that idea on that cup handle. So most probably downward type movement for EuroCAD at this moment of time, but you want to check on the 4-hour chart as well. For me, I am not looking at EuroCAD at this moment of time because I rather look at where the flow is by the big boys, and the flow at the moment is for Euro GBP buy as well as the GBP CHF on the sell. Okay, so we want to look at GBP CHF as well, but here it is looking like it may be a really strong downward type movement for the EuroCAD, but again it is sort of a corrective type move move correction, because maybe the big boys, for the euro crosses, they may be thinking of buying the dip, so they're pulling down the prices so that they can actually buy in cheaper price, and then they will start buying in the dip. Okay, all right, guys. Also, for those who are trading or have traded the USD CHF on the USD CHF on the 4-hour chart, I've released a signal a couple of days ago last week, mainly for USD CHF, where we bought already at 91.90. We took about 48 pips, so it did actually went up exactly and reversed. Now we're just waiting for maybe a second round to the upside. When if the USD is really strong, then once it enters this blue box area, you can buy again at 91.90. So that would be your second time to actually profit another 48 pips if you have already profited 48 pips from this move, and then you can take profit at 92.40. Your second round of at least about 100 pips for USD CHF, only the USD CHF persists to become stronger, is only after it enters this area of 92.60 as your ideal price. So there I've put in the USD CHF buy type signal, buying at 0.9260, but that may take some time. But we want to look at how the market fare, with USD CHF, USD crosses as well, impacted by various other factors in the market at the moment. Okay, of course, we want to buy and sell at the ideal price as well, very important. Okay, so that is for your USD CHF. For this is one of the it's not a failed trade, but it's just something that I was thinking based on the software that I use for measuring volume of trade by big boys and all that. It was just too early. It was signaling downside selling opportunity, and I have just look into the location area of where would be best, and it's just too far off the price. So I've done a pending order, but then I canceled pending orders as well, and I've suggested as such to most of the traders as well. If you've got your pending order for the sale, just forget it for now. Let's see how prices fare for the AUD JPY. Perhaps different direction, different opportunity. But at this moment of time, I'm not riding the AUD crosses as yet, because I don't see the interest are on the AUD crosses for now by the big boys. Because if I see that the big boys are also going into these trades, then they would probably make the trend a little bit clearer. If the trend clarity is clearer, then your probability increases and your risk reduces. Okay, so that's the way I would approach the market most of the time. And here, for example, let's ignore AUD JPY for now. AUD USD is the same. We're not looking at any nice clear downward type movement. We're seeing even on the upside, it is quite sensitive move to the upside for AUD crosses, especially the AUD USD. So not at the moment, because USD is picking up. There's a lot of retaliation by Trump, and there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes as well. So we want to be a little bit sensitive with that. So this is what we want to be careful of. We want to pick pairs carefully. So GBP CHF was the one that I talked about. So we will look into GBP CHF. Do I have it here? Yes. So here you go. Now GBP CHF, it's just giving us a lot of bearishness through the software as well, a lot of participation by traders and investors are to the downside. So that's the downward type movement that are expected. But here we are trading at 1937. I would think, I mean, me being quite conservative in my approach, I would probably take all this one out. Look into selling only after it has actually gone a little lower towards the 1920s area and below, so at least about 10 pips under 1920, let's say 1910 onwards, then we can see, okay, we want to look into the buying into the selling side for the GBP CHF, because we want to know how bearish it is as well, because at this moment of time all the GBP crosses appears to be quite bearish and is the most bearish against the AUD. you see. So AUD is giving us what do you call that, bullish momentum, total opposite from what the software is giving us. So I want to make sure that I have my mind as well to reevaluate whatever software or anything that I am getting the information from. So here GBP CHF at this stage, it's a little bit too early for looking at the downside. If we go on to lower time frame, like the neutral 1 hour time frame, you can see that we experience a little correction right there, but the fall was quite strong for the GBP. So there are many, reasons for justifying why GBP is really weak. Of course, we've got the Brexit scenario came back. We've got various other things, COVID as well, and it's sort of like quite standard nowadays in the European market, or the GBP Britain market. The reasons for the downward type movement is either economic situation that is going down because of COVID, or COVID's cases has increased, or there are tensions going on between the big boys or things like that, and that's where it goes in. So it's pretty standard at this moment of time to look at that. Now GBP CHF, as you can see, we've got higher highs, still higher highs, still higher lows right here, and still higher highs. So it is a little bit tricky, but it's showing that we have got a little bit of a buyer's interest, because it has gone above this area right here. It's trading at 119.34. I would think it's probably best to wait till it goes past and crosses above the 1950s area, at least at psychological level. And on the daily chart, we could see it's quite unpredictable at this moment of time. We have got the curve going upwards. So if it does curve upwards, then you have got that area there to look at as your potential resistance area. Okay, so we have got an area to look out for. We got resistance there as well, so it's quite significant potentially. And then you've got previous support became resistance as well. Strong support areas as well. So okay, it's a good area to monitor, that area there as significant resistance. If the price for GBP CHF continues upwards, then maybe the trend at the moment for GBP CHF selling is a little bit too early. So we want to look at what happens in the market first, okay? Because I like to confirm and not just follow the software, give you guys buying and selling just based on the software without my analysis. So I always like to analyze it further, just to know the location of the trade and the timing of the trade. So the timing and the location and the confirmation of trend, I need to do it on my own with my strategies as well, technically, and with my patterns and all that. So I'll never just follow a piece of information that says, okay, it is strong on the buy, and then I just go and buy, or strong on the sell, and I just go on and sell. That's really risky. So I would rather do it that way to be safer, okay, to increase my probability and reduce my risk. Okay, guys, any questions at all? You guys are okay so far? All good? You can type into that little box. Oops. Okay, I clicked on something. So, okay. All good. Thank you, Mr. Pillay. Very good. Clear. Okay, good. Thanks for having me. Good, good. And welcome. All right, good. So yeah, we are looking at, if you guys want to share what you're trading on, or what you're looking at the moment, what's, how I can be of help of your current trade, just let me know. Just type into the box the pair that you would like me to look into, and we can evaluate it together. And as long as it helps, it'll be good. So yeah, we've got EuroCAD. Let's also look at gold. Okay, I'll just wait for you guys to type out what you would like me to take a look at. Okay, gold is tricky. I mean, this has been expected already. It's stretching out a sideways type market. So it's not really an ideal, ideal instrument or asset class to actually go into right now. Maybe another couple of days. I'm not sure, but it doesn't look like it's, you know, a movement with small candles like this sideways stretching out, awaiting a breakout. And for me, it's like putting your finger into a washing machine. You know, it's just, you just don't know whether it will spin or, you know, what's going to happen. We just don't know. Okay, this area here. So it's rather, it's better if you are in doubt of the market. In doubt, you stay out. That's it. As simple as that. And we can always look at, you know, trading opportunities elsewhere, and then we lay out the location of the trading plan or trading decisions and all that, and then we look at timing, whether you want to trade short term 20-30 pips, or you don't mind to leave your trades open for about a day or a couple of days, or it's entirely up to yourself and your risk appetite. Very important, because your equity level determines, help traders determine whether you are best fitted with scalping or a couple of days type trader, swing trader, long term. All that is actually up to your goals. Number one, how fast and how can you wait, or and all that. But then it has a very big correlation with the amount of money, equity you are willing to risk as well, and also the equity that you have as a cushion to trade. Okay, so now as we speak, we've got a little bit of a bullish type movement going on for gold right there. Okay, it's just starting at this moment, so maybe it's due to a fall for dollar, maybe, we don't know. There you go. See USD CAD, we've got that. Maybe it's got to do with the economic data that just came out, and it's probably negative. So a lot of reasons, because I see all the USD crosses seem to be depreciating, except for some shows, you know, really fast, really clear movements, some maybe a little slow. I'm still seeing some pickup of GBP still going down. But at the moment, for the European American session, we're still seeing GBP CHF to the downside. So there you go. Still hasn't broken that upward type trend line. I prefer it to break out, maybe make a correction, and then come downwards. Okay, so when you want to look at the breakout, it's probably, I think you guys know this already, but it's usually common practice if you are looking at potential breakout for it to, let's say, break out but return to where it broken out from, then you can continue that movement, because we don't know how far it comes down before it goes back there and then breaks out downwards. Then you're looking at that area as your opportunity. So you're going to wait for that reverse, first breakout, reverse, then come back down, then you want to ride along that. Okay, so all right, now what about you guys? Anything that you guys want to confirm with me, your current trades? You guys have been very quiet. Anything, any trades that you guys want to take a look? Maybe name one pair each. You've got about 5 of you guys there. Give me one pair each to look at, and we can do that too. Okay, very nice. Euro USD. So Euro USD, it's reversing at this moment of time. It made a very good reverse actually at the 1.1850 area, which is also a psychological level. So now it has entered that blue box that we have drawn for some time. This is based on a daily chart. We are looking at this 5-wave Elliott wave. So now basically what happens, let me draw out the wave for you guys, okay? US 30 as well. Yeah, we can do that. Give me a second, yeah? We can do that. let's look at this drawing here of a potential Elliott wave. I mix a lot of ingredients, meaning all these methodologies or techniques and all that, and I put them together and see what applies in the market at a time. So what applied in the market or applicable in the market at the time when it was moving up, it looked like it moved, a Euro USD moved in a five-way series. Okay, so you've got wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, let me draw that. Okay, so this is your first wave, second wave, third, fourth wave, fifth, and usually what happens is in Elliott, based on Elliott wave theory, then if it does actually decided to reverse, it looks like it's reversed now, 2 candles down already, so that is pretty solid resistance and reversal, and that was at the 61.8 Fibonacci level as well, that one there. So that's a good sign. So the next movement I would expect is for it to do an ABCD coming downwards. Okay, so that would then complete a ABC move. So that's your A here, B here, C for an Elliott wave theory. So, but what I would then do as well is to trade it following my geometric pattern at A here, and then I've got my B here, and then C, and then D. Okay, so if at all I'm trading the downside, let's say if I just started to want to trade the downside for the Euro USD, then that movement downwards here, I don't do anything until it basically reverse. So A to B, B to C, and then what usually happens that C to D is sort of predicted by having the same length as A to B. Okay, so that's my ABCD type pattern. Then I can take profit at the D area. So now I'm waiting for that downward type movement. Okay, so here let us just also, if I were to look at the current price right now, 1732, 1734 area, sorry, for it to actually come down a little bit more to the 1720 area would be better, because once it goes downwards to the 1720s area and then go lower than 1720, then I can see that it's got more participation, or it would get more participation by sellers at the time at an ideal price of 1720 and below. Now a little bit too soon, wouldn't say too soon, but then it's looking like it's getting more and more bearish as well. So let's look at that. That's what's happening on the daily chart, but we need to reevaluate, look at 4 hour and 1 hour as well, just to get a better idea, a clearer picture. Okay, so let me just clear all drawings. Yeah, brilliant. So there you go. Now if I were to look into 4 hour chart, we can see some reversals going on. We can see that if at all it decides to come lower, and it's come lower than 1722 area, right there, that green line that I have drawn. We can zoom out a little bit. Okay. And this area here, we've got lots of resistance, but we want a resistance with strongish type candle, and that actually happened at the 1722 and below. So it is quite correct to plan your selling, or if you want to sell again, let's say, and you're already selling and you're on floating and you want to sell again, it's probably good to resell to create new trading opportunities on the sell or pending order on the sell at 1710. So 1710, yes, you have got, based on the 4 hour chart, we have some longish bearish mother candles as well. So it's quite good. Let's just see, we've got one from the 1710 area. Your sell could potentially take about, okay, we've got 20 pips, let's say. I think about 35 pips or so. The reason why I say that is because let's say I use this green line, okay, to plan your entry for a sell at 1710. Okay. Now, your 1710, where you would sell, you need to look at, just look to the left and look at a single bearish candle coming downwards. That's one right there, right? There's another right there. There's another there, another there as well. And they're almost the same sort of length, you see. So I would then mark, let's say if I take that one there. Yeah, so you enter at your green line area 1710, and then you want to exit at the blue line area. But I want to move this one up a little bit to mirror that. You see these two candles, these two bearish candles, and then you've got this third one here, you've got the fourth one here, single bearish candle. Okay, and yeah, I think that's good enough. We've got a few there. So that is at 1676. What if I put that at 1690? Give me a second. 90. Okay. Now I would probably prefer if my cell is there. Okay, because now it's just a little bit too early because I want to really be sure. And here, okay, it's good that we've got a very big fall at a nice reversal candle right there as well. So anywhere under the 1720 7 area and below, but I like to keep it safe, whereby I wouldn't mind to look into selling of this area here, which is only about 20 pips or so. But you can actually trade, you know, either your one lot or, you know, less. It's entirely up to your risk appetite as well, and take that 30 pips that, you know, it's encapsulate there, quite well positioned. That's the location there. Small, but maybe you've got powerful selling and fast taking place at that area. If at all price were to fall much more and reach that area right there, I'll get rid of this one here. Get rid of that as well. Give me a second. Okay. All right. Oh, we've got questions. Good. Yes, I'm Kenny here, Funmi. How are you doing? Usually, you see Mondays and Tuesdays, Funmi, we start at 3 o'clock Cyprus. Sorry, yes, 4 o'clock Cyprus time. Okay, and only Wednesdays to Friday we start at 3 o'clock Cyprus time. 4 o'clock Mondays and Tuesday, 4 o'clock Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 3 o'clock Cyprus time. GMT plus 3. Okay, all right, Funmi, you okay? Right. So, okay. So we'll go to next. Mr. Pillay, Mr. Proven's US 30. And let's just look into that. Give me a second. Any questions, guys? You guys are okay, yeah? Euro USD, Alfred, is okay so far? Yeah. Okay, let's look into that. US 30. Oh, wait. Let me just check. There you go. Have you got a preferred short-term, long-term time frame kind of thing, Mr. Pavan? US 30 on the daily. I usually start on the daily first, just to get a bit of an idea of the trend. It's looking like it's finding support, meaning to boost its position to the upside. But to the left, I see a potential reversal zone or reversal area at the 27, maybe 27,600 area or the 27,590 area, to actually be a resistant area on that. So mainly because, you know, as it goes upwards, we have got that as your resistance area. We can look into it more, and then we go into 4 hour and 1 hour as well to evaluate it further. Just how to analyze it. Okay, all right, good. So okay, yeah, usually I like to start with the daily chart on the price action first, and then I will put you know, other theories into it, like my patterns and all that later on. I just want to look at threats first. I want to look at threats, meaning reversal zones, and the trend. Number one is a trend. Trend looks like it's, you know, it's finding support to the upside, but it's not very, it may actually be stronger to the upside, even though it doesn't look like it, mainly because of all these wicks that you can see. It's just signaling weakness to the downside. So it might want to pick up to the upside much more. So here, if I were to look into current price now, 2670 area, 26,670, 26,670 area. I just want to look at what has actually happened in the past with regards to bullish candles. I don't really see any, you know, bullishness so much created by a single mother candle as well. So I'm not sure whether or not. Okay, let's just go to the 4-hour as well. This is a little bit, there is an area here, so you want to be really, really careful with an area in the past. Okay, January 2018, end of January 2018, we had this fall, yeah, this fall that started there. So will the market mirror that? We never know. And will the market respect that? We also never know. But it's good for us to always be safe and sound, to always look to the left and see that, okay, that is an area that we need to be careful. 26,696 area. Okay, as mentioned earlier on. So we have got that area right there, exactly at where prices is now, you see. So we need price to push up, upwards. Let's just see on the 4-hour chart. We go to the end, not to the end, towards the left. We want to see whether or not from this blue area of 26,696, you know, have we got any bullish single mother candles going upwards, pushing prices upwards? I've not seen that so much. So we want to be really careful. Anything can actually happen to give us a little bit of a sell type movement, but we have got this threat at the moment, exactly bang on the current price. We have got this very big sort of significant resistance that have actually pulled prices down or pushed prices off the cliff right there down to this area here at the base. Of the 23, 35, 360 area. So yeah, it's, you know, it's quite a significant fall right there, and it's been participated by big sellers as well there, especially at the end of that fall, end area of the fall. So yeah, let's just, okay. I think the price action and all that's based on quite limited here around this area as well. But this is the most, it's right at the tip of where prices are right at the peak, at the tip of that peak, right there at this moment of time. So if current price is there, you know, it's just telling us that, okay, we've got to be a little careful, not to be totally optimistic for the buy at this stage. Of course, resistance can become support, but we need more evidence of that support. Okay. Yeah, we need more evidence of that support. For me, I mean, in my opinion, it's got definitely potential for the upside because we've got a fall here, got a rise from this blue line to the top blue line, and then a fall from that top blue line down here, and nothing went up to touch it there for now. So that is a potential, but we need to know how it respects the resistance, all this resistance, significant resistance. We need to know how it respects it. I can pull this one up a little bit to this area here, and that would be the 26,736 area. So I think I'm giving it a little bit more room. So I, you know, want to make sure that the buyers are picking up for the US 30 only after it has actually gone above and pierced through the 26,736 area. Okay. All right, guys. So far, okay. Bhuvan, you're okay with that? Yeah, US 30. All right, good. Okay, cool. Just want to be a bit careful with that because we don't know anything can actually happen, but it is bang on a resistant area at this moment in time. Okay, all right. Now, if it does actually more, if for example it falls, okay, let's say it falls and it mirrored that fall and comes downwards, then we want to look at how much it has the power to actually go down bearishly, and if it does actually come down lower under this area here, for example, okay, then we have probably a very nice A here, B here, C, and then you want to short it, okay, and then we can see a pattern forming as well, but now it's too early for patterns and things like that, okay, because of that resistant area. Okay, good. Okay, I think yeah. How are you guys doing? The rest of you guys, anything else to share? And yeah, all good. Let me just check on the heat maps again. Give me a second. Yeah. Also, sometimes I look into auto chartists as well, you know, and they have got quite a number of signals there to share, but I just like to choose some and then reevaluate them. Okay. All right, Pratap. Good. Yes, of course. Let's look at gold a little bit. I didn't really see, you know, yeah, it started to sort of have a little bit of a bullish momentum right there. It's mainly because of the fall of the US dollar, I would think. I've never checked the news yet on the US dollar. Let me just see what's going on. Dominant currencies. It's probably because there's been a bit of a reversal for the oil. Oil prices fell, so if CAD falls as well, USD goes up usually. But at this moment of time, maybe because gold is on the upside, perhaps there's some what do you call that? US-China tension, or some, or perhaps more COVID cases, as I've mentioned earlier on. It's quite standard nowadays. The reasons or the reasons behind the news. So yeah, give me a second. Let me just check what's going on. Um, GBP USD may become a little stable. So we've got a bit of a dollar index, you know, the DXY US dollar index. It's a index that compares the USD with 6 other major currencies. It seemed to have, what do you call that, depreciated a little bit. So that impacted the US dollar. So I guess that could be the reason as well. So a lot of people are planning the sell off of the US dollar, and it says that it remains just off its recent 26-month low. Okay, so but then we want to wait for, we don't know what surprises there will be for the US dollar for the NFP. You guys don't forget there is the non-farm payroll on Friday. I think it's this Friday. Yes, definitely. So that will be on the 7th. Yeah, 7th of August. Friday is your non-farm payroll. So it's usually quite popular. It's popularly known to create big movements in the market and all that. So we want to know what is the Fed's decisions on a lot of things as well, and then the current employment, non-farm payroll numbers as well. And also because today is Tuesday, tomorrow is Wednesday, and Wednesday usually they come up with the ADP, the automated one, the automated what do you call that? It's like a pre-NFP, you know, non-farm payroll, but then it's a digital version of it. So automated one is not, you know, based on paper and all that. It's more on statistics and all that. So they will give out that. So we want to take a look as well of how that paves out the way for US dollar, so that we can then plan the goals movement better. But at this moment of time, they still have got a potential based on that ABCD pattern that you guys see here in yellow for gold to actually go up to the 2024 area. So it all depends on how the data and the economic situation in the US fare. So this week is actually quite crucial to plan for gold's movement, which is a very good thing, Fanmi, that you mentioned about gold, because a lot of gold traders, they're actually planning whether or not to participate in heavy gold buying or not, starting this week or starting next week. Everything has got to do with this very heavy data this week, actually, and from today until Friday, especially for the US. So US has got two factors: the current economic data we need to monitor on the economic calendar, whether or not it's majority positive or negative and all that, and how the news translates that news, the economic data for the US, whether it's more negative, more positive. And then we need to also look at how the news, mainstream media, whether it's CNN or CNBC or Al Jazeera or whatever that is, how they actually put the news of economy together with the COVID cases that are increasing at the moment in different places, California, Texas, and everywhere else, whether or not the mainstream is marinating these two factors together. If they do, and it becomes worse and worse, it creates more fear, then we've got the transference of wealth and trading and everything else towards safe havens, and gold is one of them. Okay, so it's a very crucial week to look into that. So yeah, let's write on more trends as well, and a lot of opportunities, definitely a lot of opportunities to trade. So tomorrow we want to do the webinar, and I'll set up more trading setups, basically, and look into it as well together with Go, and we shall see what to write on. Okay, so I'm monitoring heat maps as well, and all other trading opportunities, and then we will reevaluate it and trade it step by step or stage by stage. Okay, you okay, fund me on that, on your gold? Yeah. See the dollar versus the cat. You see how it's just to the downside at the moment. Let me just give a quick check on the economic calendar, and let me let you know, see what's going on. Okay, Fami, no problem. Let's see economic calendar. What's going on? Okay, so today is August the 4th. We didn't really have too much on it, but I guess we had a positive though on the USD factory, but it was sort of a medium impact news. But I think tomorrow would be even better to look out for. And tomorrow and Thursday, tomorrow onwards until Friday, we have got a very good heavy economic calendar on the what do you call that, high impact news. So we want to monitor. Okay, so this is basically, I think we've got really good trading opportunities, because Thursday, from Wednesday tomorrow onwards, especially Thursday, we have got average pip movements are quite high. You see, especially for Euro JPY, AUD JPY, GBP JPY as well. So there's a lot of opportunities. But I think our eyes should actually be focused on tomorrow onwards, because we've got a very long docket of economic data releases. Okay, we'll start off tomorrow with your time there in Asia, your time or market open time, we'll be looking into New Zealand dollar movements. Okay, so New Zealand dollar movements, New Zealand dollar crosses as well, I think will start, because the volatility would probably be quite high on New Zealand dollar based on the employment and unemployment figures that will come out. I think it will be about almost 7 o'clock in the morning onwards, 6:45 or so your time in Malaysia. In Malaysia, yes, you will see that moving. So that will give some opportunities on the Asian Open for New Zealand dollar crosses, maybe AUD and ZD. I'm not sure, but we will have to see. And then when I wake up and all that in my time, we are 5 hours apart, and then we will then see a lot of trading opportunities with both Euro, JPY, and the USD as well, because we'll start off with the European session with retail sales. So we want to focus on some Euro crosses tomorrow onwards. And Thursday will be very, very interesting. Thursday, I think my eyes and my focus would probably be on GBP crosses, because we've got a very big docket of high volatility economic releases. I think more than 10 releases from the UK itself, and it includes Bank of England's monetary policy, and then the interest rate decision, and then we've got the voting going on with MPC, all Bank of England stuff. It's all got to do with the central bank of the UK, so it's very high impact. And then in the evening, we've got a speech as well by the governor. Governor Bailey, okay, the Bank of England's governor, and this usually will create a very good impact, a long-lasting impact, because it happens on Thursday, and then we've got all these monetary. So once it's steady, when they finish all these economic releases and all that on TV and everything, we should be looking at the trend that stays on. Okay, stays on. So let's see. I don't see the Friday. Let me just check Friday. Friday the 7th, 5, 6, oh, doesn't actually show me Friday at all here. I don't know why. Let me just check. Okay, I'll check on another calendar. Yeah, it's the same for me. I'm in Cyprus. Ah, Mr. Pili, you are in South Africa. Very good. Where about in South Africa? In Johannesburg or Durban or Cape Town? I've been there like 5 times, I think, in South Africa. Durban, brilliant. Yeah, I've been to Durban many times. And that's fantastic. Yeah, we've got lots of traders in Durban. Have we met before, Mr. Pillay? Did we meet? Because your name sounds quite, or we have. Yes, Johannesburg. Yes, yes. Sharp, sharp. Good, good. Brilliant. Ah, in the Fladextro event. Fantastic. Oh, that's nice. Yes, yes, yes. Very good. I remember you, I think. Yeah, I remember. You know, meet so many people. And it's been a while already from that event. Fantastic. Good. Welcome. Yeah, good chat. Brilliant. So you've been trading. I remember you. Yeah, you've been trading for some time. Yeah. Yeah. That's good. I remember now. I think you were interested in trading specific instruments. What do you trade, by the way? Is it only stocks as well, or only or with FX? Forex and stocks, yeah. I remember that we sat at the booth area in the event, and we were talking quite a bit. Yeah, perfect. Good, good. Yeah, nice, nice. Good to see you. Yeah, I totally mistaken your name for Malaysian, and all that. So yeah, it's good. It's good. Welcome. So you could join us, from Mondays to Friday, and I do the webinar every day, and it's following Malaysian. I mean, my time will be 3 p.m. Monday, Tuesday 4 p.m. Sorry, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday 3 p.m. Cyprus time. Okay. Yeah, good, good, good. All right. Yes, I'm happy to share more as all the community know me by now that I love sharing trade ideas, and then we trade together. And what you see on my platform here is I'm using Errante's account, which is a nice hedge. We call it hedge account, but it's actually an ECN type model account. So I like it a lot. Very low spreads and everything is quite good. So here, let me just show you. So this is a real account that I guide you all through webinars and everything else. When I take trades and everything else on my personal account as well, I do it on this live account of Errante as well. So just to prove it that, you know, we don't do any demo type mentoring. We want to do it real, so that you guys can also earn real money and learn, earn and learn, you know, in the right way, as well as a, you know, most realistic way possible. Okay, good. Yep, no problem. Any questions, you can just ask. Okay, anytime. No problem. So tomorrow, yeah, join us again tomorrow. You guys as well, all of you. You know, we can take a look at more things tomorrow. Tomorrow, with regards to webinar title, it's the 5th of August, because we've got a lot of employment change. I've mentioned earlier on for New Zealand dollar. So I want to look into New Zealand dollar crosses, NZD crosses. By tomorrow, I should be able to get more ideas on where are we looking at, what type pairs, you know, instruments, which pair would probably be best to pick for us to evaluate and analyze further. Okay, so we will look into that. For that, of course, it'll pave the way for us on New Zealand dollar. But again, anything happens in the market that we find to be, you know, to take the opportunity to trade, then I will be presenting it live in front of all of you, and then we can enjoy the session again with some analysis. Okay. All right, guys. With that, I want to perhaps it'd be best if you guys have got no questions, then we'll end the session for tonight, and we will continue, or we will meet up again tomorrow, same time. So not same time, but tomorrow, because it's Wednesday, it will be at 3 p.m. my time. Okay, so 3 p.m. my time will be 8 p.m. Malaysian time. Okay. GMT plus 3, and let me just check. South Africa time. Let's see, it's 4:44 now. 1 hour behind us. Yeah. Okay. Good. So you'd be 2 o'clock your time there, proven. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, nice. Okay, now thank you very much to everyone. Now, hope you guys got something for today, and let's make more pips for the week, and definitely lots of opportunities. So I'd like to share that with you tomorrow. So tomorrow, remember, it will be 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock my Cyprus time. Okay, so let's meet up tomorrow again, and I'll be sure to draw out more trade setups, and we'll look into it and trade together. Okay, guys, with that, I want to thank you guys for attending my webinar tonight, and we'll meet you guys tomorrow. Have a very good night. Take care. Bye-bye.